Hey everyone, it's Amber. Today I'm going to be doing my January wrap-up and February TBR. January was actually a pretty good reading month for me. I read 3 books and I started a bunch of other ones. I'm feeling pretty good about the new year with reading. I only read like 8 books last year in total, so I'm doing way better than that. So I'm just going to talk about all the books that I read and some of the books that I started. So I read a lot of really good books so far this year. The first one that I read is A Poison Study by Maria V. Schneider. I give this one 4 out of 5 stars, and I read this in one day, which is a huge accomplishment for me because I never do that. Basically, this is a fantasy story, and it's about this girl, and she commits a crime, and they give her a choice of whether she wants to be a poison taster or if she wants to just die, because she's like the next one in line to die in the prison, and she chooses to be the poison taster. And it's a really difficult, dangerous job, obviously. You have to figure out all the different poisons and everything like that. But so much more happens in this book. And I just found it really, really interesting and really intriguing. And I really, really enjoyed it. I really liked that it was kind of a lighter fantasy. And it was kind of not low stakes, but it wasn't like so blown up like a huge fantasy like series is a lot of the time, where it just builds on itself and it's like huge. It's a series, but I haven't read the other books, so maybe that happens, but I've heard that this is more of a lighter fantasy, which I'm really into lately, so I'm really happy that this was my first read of the year because I really, really enjoyed it. The next one that I read is Furthermore by Tahara Mafi. This one follows this world where it's super vibrant and colorful, but this one girl was born without any pigment. She kind of has to navigate through that. Also, her father was taken, or he went missing, so it's kind of about finding her father in a way. But I enjoyed this. I thought it was just a simple, cute, fun middle grade read. I gave it like I think a 3.5, and I liked the audiobook, which is how I listened to it, or how I read it. The next one that I read was Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. This one I gave like a 3.75 or 4 stars. I also listened to this one, but I think the problem that I ran into with this one was that I wasn't fully listening the whole time, and that's my fault. But I don't know if that's because of the writing, because in other audiobooks I'm able to like listen fully the whole time, or if that was because of me like just zoning out. I don't really know. But anyway, I enjoyed this one overall. This one kind of follows these different clans, and they're like Viking-ish, I guess. But they kind of have this huge rivalry between these two clans. I thought there was going to be a lot more action, and there was in the beginning and the end, but in the middle it kind of lacked that for me, which is why it kind of got docked some stars. And then also I felt connected to the characters, but I also kind of didn't at the same time. So I don't know, like I didn't fully care what happened to the characters, which kind of also docked it for me. But I really liked the story and I liked the message and I thought it was interesting. It just wasn't my favorite thing I've ever read, but I liked it. Another book that I started in January was Stalking Jack the Ripper. I've been listening to the audiobook of this and I've been enjoying it, but hopefully I can finish that in February. I also started The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, which will be on my February TBR because I started this but I didn't finish it, but I'm literally almost done with it, so I'll be finishing this in February, hopefully. But I've been really, really enjoying this. This is about like this world with like fairies, and it's kind of half set in the real world and half set in this like completely fantasy fairy world, and it follows this girl, and she's a human living in the fairy world because her sister is a fairy or half fairy. But it's really interesting. I'm really enjoying it. I'm sure most of you guys have read it. The second one just came out, so I don't know, but I'm enjoying this so far, and I'm almost done with it. So this is on my February TBR. So now I'll get into the rest of the books that are on my TBR that I didn't start in January. Okay, so the first book that I have on my TBR is going to be Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. I really, really want to read this. I love Jen Bennett. I adore her. She is a like contemporary author for YA, and her first book that I read was Alex Approximately, which is so, so good. And this one, I really want to read this before April when the next book comes out, and I've been feeling it contemporary. And I've been really wanting this one, but I left it at school, so now I can finally read it. This one, all I know about it is it involves camping. I camp every summer, so like this is super relevant to me, so I'm really excited to read this one. So the next book that I really want to read this month is The Exiled Queen by Cinda Williams Chima. This one is the second book in the Seven Realms series, which the first one was The Demon King, and I really like this one. It's a fantasy series. It's so good. It follows kind of 3 different societies within this big kingdom, and it follows 2 different characters. Princess Raisa, who's like a great princess and she's striving for change and stuff within the kingdom, and then it follows Hannah Alistair, who is like this infamous street rat, but he doesn't want to be known as that, but he kind of just keeps ending up with that reputation. But it's so good. I'm excited to start the second one, and I'm hoping to get this read this month. The next one that I want to read is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. This one has been on my TBR every single month for the past like year, and I have not gotten to it, and I just want to get to it soon. So we're just gonna not talk about this anymore because I talk about it every month. Also, disclaimer, I'm probably not going to read all these books. I'm just using these as like kind of options for what I want to read, because I'll also listen to audiobooks, which I don't know which ones I'm going to read yet because I don't know which ones are available from the library. The next one that I have is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. This one is like a mystery kind of book, and it's set in like a boarding school, and just sign me up. That's all I need to know. I don't know anything else about it, but it just sounds really good. The next one that I have is Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. This is the second one in the Villains series. The first one's Vicious. This one just came out last year, and I'm just really excited for it because I really liked Vicious, and this one I really want to buddy read with one of my friends because we read Vicious together, so it'd be fun to like read this together also. So maybe I'll get to this month, hopefully, but we'll see. So that is it for my TBR for February. There definitely will be more books because I want to listen to a lot of audiobooks and stuff, but those are all the physical books that I have with me here at school that I'm thinking of reading. Anyways, let me know you guys' TBRs and your wrap-ups for the month down below because I'd love to know. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe down below if you want to see more of my videos. My name is Amber. I upload every Monday and Thursday, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!
Words that I say, downtown the lights out, but we